This is your emergency broadcast system announcing the commencement of another purge of the BS, sanctioned by the First Amendment. Frustration levels 0 to 100 have been authorized for use during this purge. All weapons are restricted. Government officials have not been granted immunity from the purge of the BS and shall undoubtedly receive the smoke. Commencing at the sound of the gong, any and all BS, especially unnecessary goofiness, will be purged without consequence. Police, fire, and emergency medical services will be available, but they will be busy because they too will be watching the purge of the BS. Blessed be those who have already been victims of some BS. May God be with you all.
We can enter any home we want, and we will one. As long as our will on this fine night.
Okay.
Don't force us to hurt you.
Shouts to IMZ in the chat. Mods getting ready. Just let us purge. About that time. Let's go.
You better find someplace else to go.
I got a wicked sweet tooth tonight. And I want my candy back.
We are live for another purge of the BS. Getting started a little differently tonight. I want to thank everybody for coming in early, everybody just stopping in. If it's your first time here, make sure you hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the notification. You know the drill. You're not new to YouTube, so you shouldn't be used to anything that's not the purge of the BS. Or you should be used to everything that's not the purge of the BS. Either way, thank you so much for being here and hanging out with us. This applause is for you. Shouts to IMZ in the chat, all my mods stopping in, hanging out in the bleachers, making sure things don't get crazy. I think we're ready to go. I'm pretty sure we're ready to go. Thumbs up in the chat if you can hear me right. If I'm nice and loud and clear. I'm working on different mic placements tonight, so welcome. Anyway, because I got some other stuff to do this evening, I'm going to go ahead and continue into this purge of the BS. I got a little YouTube warning early today, but we'll see what they say about this stream. So thank you all for joining me. All right, so guys, if you have never been here on the purge of the BS, I'm not going to introduce you to it. This is the purge of the BS. The name in the title says it all. When bullshit ends up over here, it gets purged. We got to get it out the way so that people don't have to deal with it later. So we have to deal with it in real time, okay? So we have a couple of very interesting topics to cover on today's purge. Now, you guys know, I don't like when people mess with the kids. So we got one of those, but it's a little bit different. It's gonna shock your mind. Like the kind of people that are out here, it's gonna shock your mind. But we're gonna start soft, okay? Before we go hard. Pause. Actually, not necessarily pause, because that's actually what I mean. So the first thing I want to cover with y'all is there is We're saying goodbye to something that took to the airwaves, took to the distribution of content, made a huge wave, and now it's saying goodbye. Apparently, OpenAI is shutting down the Sora platform. Shutting it down. It's over with. No more of the Sora cool videos. Some of them were a little extreme, though, I will say that. And that's probably why they had to shut it down. But the most important piece of it is it was in the middle of a business deal with Disney that I really didn't know about because I don't really follow all that kind of stuff. But Disney's main thing was trying to utilize the Sora app in order to create Disney films. You know, they're cartoonish films, right? So the deal for them was really all about the daggone Sora thing, and then OpenAI decided to shut it down. So we're going to go over the story that they gave me about it, but I do have a kind of a hidden gem at the end I want y'all to have a discussion about. So let me bring this on over here. Hold on just a moment here. Hold on just a moment. Here we go.
All right, we got some breaking news out of the business world. OpenAI saying it's shutting down its video generation platform, Sora. You see the post here on Sora's X account. Their message to people who used it: what you made with Sora mattered, and we know this news is disappointing.
It didn't
the AI
matter.
videos, like the ones you see here, have generated some controversy. Critics saying they're a breeding ground for potential copyright infringement or about deep fakes. Brian Chung is joining us now with more on this. They just had this $1 billion deal with Disney.
Yeah.
We actually talked about on the podcast. And now it sounds like they're ending their partnership and they're shutting down their doors.
Yeah.
What's going on?
And what was remarkable about that Disney partnership was that it was only in December.
Yeah.
Sora, as a video generating platform, again, the idea is that it's a text to video. You just kind of type in what you want, and then this AI creates that video for you. It was only over a year old. I think it was released to the public in December of 2024. And now you have OpenAI saying they're shutting this thing down. Now,
You know what's funny, though? We said on this program, anybody who hasn't been here, we said on this program it was going to get shut down if there wasn't some borders to it, because stuff started getting crazy. So I'm actually not surprised to hear this at all. But we'll see where it goes. Hold on. Let's let them finish.
The OpenAI company does say that they decided to discontinue Sora as they focus and compute demand grows. They say that they want to focus on things that are real-world physical tasks. And then Disney, which is the other big aspect of this, as you point out, they had a
Instead of
$1
AI
billion
slop.
equity
Okay,
investment
gotcha.
in OpenAI as a result of a partnership where they said we are going to allow Disney characters on Sora. Again, arguably the most recognizable library of characters ever. Disney saying in response to this news that they appreciate the constructive collaboration and essentially that they respect the company's decision to close down that particular platform.
All right, I'm going to pause that one more time. Did you hear what was going to be exchanged, though? All of the Disney characters would be available on Sora for image generation. So people would have had Snow White doing wild stuff. Like, you could tell where it was going to go. If you would have given access to all the Disney characters for anybody that was on Sora to utilize, they would have done some wild shit with it. So I guess in a way, I feel like they kind of had to end this before it got too crazy because it was already getting out of hand. We've seen some of these videos. Some of it's out of hand. But the good thing is they're not the only generator in the market. So if you want to generate some other stuff, make sure you check out my my Wizard program. We got AI generator, image to video, all types of stuff. That's wizard.ai.com. The link is in, not AI.com, wizard.ai. That's it. But the link is it should be in the description of this video if you want to check it out using my referral link for Purge the BS myself. But nonetheless, I knew this was going to happen.
We don't know what happens with that investment. They haven't responded to the questions about that. But again, this is just kind of showing us how fast things are moving in the AI.
I just wonder if it's about profitability. And I only ask that because, Sam Altman, he's got a lot of pressure on him and they're trying to take OpenAI eventually public, right? Is this an indication that they felt as if maybe Sora was not as profitable for them, for their bottom line, as they thought it was going to be, hence why they're shutting those doors?
Yeah, different companies feel differently about this. So you have Google and Grok, now that OpenAI has essentially shuttered Sora as the only really remaining big players that have these video generators. Grok's is called Imagine, Google's is called VO, but I should point out Anthropic. That's the big one. A lot of people have been talking about Claude. Anthropic has chosen from the get-go to not do image or video generators. I should point out OpenAI says they're still going to do images, but different companies feel differently about what's the best strategy. I should point out there's also a legal liability aspect to it. Deepfake pornography is a big issue with these types of video generators, and it's just maybe unclear if OpenAI saw that as a potential liability.
They did.
It's major, though, I have to say, really major.
Big
It's
deal.
surprising. Brian Chung.
All right. Well, like he said, I mean, he basically said what we said. It was going too far, and they knew that it was only going to get worse. So they decided to shut it down. But the twist that I want you to really take into account here, right? The most important piece of it is shutting something down just means that they're not going to give the public regular access to it that they normally had, right? So what they're going to do is they're just going to sell it to somebody else, and then they'll rebrand it as something different, and you'll be using it under a different name. And maybe it'll have some additional borders around it to keep you from doing nefarious stuff with it. But that was what was going to happen. If you would have given the Sora users access to all of the Disney characters in the Sora universe, the Soraverse as they would call it, they would have had them characters doing all types of wild shit. So I don't think that would have been a smart idea. I do understand why they might have felt a certain way about it, because they didn't have the right copyrights, I guess you would say, boundaries already in place. So if you would have done that, and Disney was trying to do it because, like I said, Disney was trying to use Sora to basically write movies. They're not going to really use screenwriters like they used to. They're getting edged out too. That's why there's no new ideas. It's like they reuse the same characters and the same ideas over and over again, because they're getting rid of screenwriters. They're just using AI to write movies at this point. So if they could have gotten AI in image generation along with video generation, then they would have been able to literally create entire Disney movies without any animators, any screenwriters other than the AI itself. So I think that's what Disney was trying to do. And maybe OpenAI just wasn't really game for all of that, because they knew that there might be a positive side to it. But at the end of the day, people would have been doing nefarious shit with Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs and other Disney characters using the Sora AI platform. So I get it. But at the end of the day, for us to think that there will never be another Sora, or it won't be rebranded as something else, then we would be pretty stupid to think that. So that is definitely some bullshit. So let's move on. Let's see what we got here. Okay, this one is we definitely got to purge the BS on this. And I'm gonna start this segment by first saying I don't like YouTube. Okay? I'm here on YouTube because there's more people over here, and it's kind of fun over here in the chat. But when I say I don't like YouTube, I don't mean I don't like the people on YouTube. What I don't like is whenever I say on this channel that I don't like PDF files, that I think that they deserve to be dealt with properly and within the confines of whatever legal ramifications a person decides to deal with them. If you're willing to take the consequences for certain actions, that's for you to deal with. I've said this before on this channel, and they don't seem to like that. Every time I say that, I get flagged for something along, like, what do they notably say? They normally say it's along the lines of trying to incite violence or promoting violence. That's what they normally say. And I don't believe that that's the case. But I will say this. To some degree, I do promote certain violence towards certain people. I think certain people should have lessons taught to them in whatever way the regular populace is able to teach it to them. And sometimes that involves an ass whooping. So I apologize to the algorithm if you think that this is a violent channel. We're not violent over here, but we do believe in accountability. And we believe that an ass whooping received is an ass whooping deserved. Now, we do have to go through the weeds to prove one side or the other, but that is the statement that we stand on. An ass whooping received should be an ass whooping deserved. Okay? So we're not promoting ass whoopings. We're promoting accountability, and sometimes that accountability includes an ass whooping. Okay? All right. So before we get into that, I'm about to tell you guys about this lady, a Miami mom, who plotted a hit on her own child. And we're not talking about no teenager. We're talking about like a 3-year-old child here. So let me show y'all this story, because that's just the story enough, just the headline enough is to make people say, what? Yes. And if you plot like a hit against your kid, then you already know.
Oh, you are just the worst type of person.
The worst type of person. So, nonetheless, let's bring this guy over here, or this lady over here. Where's this thing at? Here it is. All right, guys. Are y'all ready to attack this? To tackle this? All right. So a mom in Miami got arrested for trying to hire a hitman to take out her 3-year-old son. I'm going to let this young lady, Erika, on Instagram, tell you guys the story. Uh-oh, it's frozen. What's it frozen for? Let's do that. Oh, it's definitely frozen. Is my internet still up? Internet's still up. Okay. Oh, something happened. Something happened. See, this is what happened. See? I shouldn't have said the thing about the peoples. I tried to use code. Oh, yeah, they tripping. Okay. Okay. They definitely did not like me talking about the PDF files. I hate when that happens. Hold on, let me get this right. Let me get it right. I'll bring the live cam over. Let me get my situation together. Hold on. I tried to be gentle. Y'all heard me. I tried. And the second I said that, it's the same every time. Y'all think I be playing. Y'all think I just be exaggerating, but you watch it in real time on a live show. Your eyes don't lie. Every time. All right, so we're going to exit that page. Oh, that was crazy. All right, sorry, algorithm. I'm sorry I talked about your little friends, the PDF files, that you seem to always be protecting every time I mention them. Jesus. Like, just give me a minute. I'll get it back together. Don't worry about it. But as soon as I said something, y'all saw it. It froze the whole situation up, thinking maybe I was going to show it again. Let's see if we can get this actual video to come up. Okay, looks like we got it. Let's take it back over to Erika so we can talk about this Miami mom who was arrested for hiring a hitman to kill her 3-year-old son. Why would they not want me to be against things like this? I ask these questions, and I don't get it. So maybe you can explain it to me at the end, but let's see what the story is.
About the mom in Miami who was arrested after she tried to hire a hitman to murder her 3-year-old child. 20-year-old Jasmine Paez was arrested after the owner of the Rent-A-Hitman website contacted police saying that he was concerned that a mother was trying to find someone to murder her child. The
okay,
owner of the website
wait a minute. The person she tried to hire had a moral epiphany. You're a hitman. I guess the hitman got rules. He said, you can hire me, but you gotta sick me on a person that's over 18. You can't sick me on a child. So I will say this, for the hitman, it is nice to hear that hitmen even have rules. That is, yay hitman, yay. Yay, hitman. Talk about he was bothered that a woman would do that. You're a hitman. Just take the money and do the job. That's what you're supposed to do. You calling the police like, look, I'm not trying to turn myself in for what I do, but there's a lady who tried to hire a guy, not me, another guy I know, to pull off a hit on her child. And then the police were like, well, how do you know? Well, I just know the guy really well. And he was telling it to me because he was bothered by it. And I thought you guys should know. Knew her whole number, her whole situation, but we could just look at her face and tell that she's crazy.
Says his website is clearly a joke, but this was concerning because she actually sent photos of the child and his exact location. During their investigation, Jasmine told police that she was incapable of taking care of her child. They also learned through DNA testing that her parents were the maternal and paternal grandparents of her son, which means that the son's father is likely her brother. Police believe Jasmine came to a breaking point after she met a man that she liked and he liked her back. But as soon as he found out that she had a child, he broke up with her because he didn't want to be a stepfather.
Hold on a second. Not that she had the child with the brother, but just that she had the child. He just didn't want an extra child. Didn't want to be a stepdaddy to her son/nephew at the same time. Yeah, I mean, if you've seen some of the other shows on here, we do say in some of the shows that you got to vet better to get better. You meet a woman and you seem to like her and she looks crazy like the chick in the picture up here, okay? If she looks like that and you don't get the red flag from just the fact that she looks crazy, okay, I'll allow it. Maybe she had some makeup on that day, right? And then you go to her telling you about, okay, well, I got a child. Okay, well, you know what? A lot of women have children, not a big deal. The guy didn't even want to be a stepdad. So she never even got to the part of the story which would have been, by the way, the father is my brother. Like, she never got to that point. But shouts to the gentleman, whomever that gentleman was, for seeing red flags early and getting the hell out of there because she's obviously crazy. So if you're listening to the story, this Jasmine Paez lady contacted a kind of, I guess, a spoof site. I don't know why you would do that as a spoof site. Hireahitman.com. Like, some people will think you're serious. And obviously Jasmine Paez thought they were serious. So they reached out, or she reached out to them to try to hire somebody, sent pictures of the child and so on and so forth. So I guess within her brain, she couldn't pull off the situation herself. So she wanted to hire someone else to do that. By the way, just in case you guys didn't know, just because you hire someone to do that doesn't mean you're not guilty of doing it. Legally and morally. Okay? So let's see if there's any more to this story.
Of course, Jasmine was arrested and she pleaded guilty to solicitation of a murder, which was a part of a plea deal that would ensure she didn't spend 10 years in prison. Jasmine won't go to prison at all. Instead, her sentence was 2 years of strict community control, which means prison without walls, and 12 years of supervised probation. What do you think of this story? Leave a comment to let me know.
All right, well, you can leave a comment to let me know, and then I'll let Erika know about that. But let's just be honest here. If you try to plot on the May of your own child to only get the box on your ankle, now 12 years of probation is pretty long. And you can mess up in 12 years. You can miss an appointment. You can, lose on a technicality, and you will most likely end up back in jail. So most likely, this woman will end up back in jail at some point in the next 14 years. Because she got 2 years of one thing and then 12 years of probation attached to it. So maybe the 12 years runs concurrently, so it'll be 10 years after, right? My question is very simple. If you do this act and you attempt to do this and you're serious about it, do you guys think that 2 years in the box and 10 years of probation is a fair penalty for it? I'm asking my chat. I want to know in the chat, do you think if a person plots to have their own child unalived, child never gets unalived, but they plot to do so and they're willing to pay for it and they get caught, do you think the penalty of 2 years on supervised probation, which is the box basically, and technically that's not supervised visitation, that's community monitoring is the term they use, but you're on the box for 2 years and then you got probation for 10 years. Is that fair? Is that fair? Oh, shouts to Insanity for real. The name of the song playing at the beginning of the stream doesn't have a name. It's something my son and I came up with and I just use it. So we'll call it the Purge something. I don't know. I'll come up with a name for it because you asked, and nobody's ever asked the name of that song before. So now I have to have a name to tell people. Thank you, Insanity, for real, for forcing me to name the track. I'll make sure I get back to you on that. But no, I'm serious. Somebody let me know, do you think that's a fair penalty for trying to plot on your own child? I don't think so. As a matter of fact, I will tell you what I think it is. I believe that that is some bullshit. So let's keep it moving. Plotting on your own child. That's all I'm saying. You're plotting on your own child. There should be some pretty hefty penalties for that because you have options in today's world. You got options. If you don't want your baby, they got a baby drop-off box. Like you can literally drop your kid in a box. And I don't know if it's at the fire station or whatever, but they have a baby drop-off box. You understand what I'm saying? So if you feel like you can't do it, and that's what it sounds like her problem was, she couldn't take care of her son. So she decided to try to have somebody unalive her kid. I just don't get it. And to only do 2 years, I know people on drug charges that have done way more time than that. People who had weapons that were just loaded. They didn't shoot anybody. They just happened to have a weapon on them that they shouldn't, and it was loaded. And they do more time than that. 5 years minimum if you're in the right states, just for having the weapon. And you don't go to jail for at least 5 to 10, you obviously don't mind plotting to unalive people. And if given the opportunity and the resources such as money, you will obviously do it. So you are a threat to the community. She should not be walking around nowhere. And she damn sure shouldn't be nowhere near her child. But I digress. Because we got other stuff to purge. But y'all see what this is. There are some people out here, you know what, because I can't get off of this whole, there's some bad parents out here. And I've been telling y'all this for a minute. There's some really bad parents. There's some really horrible parents. There's some really deadbeat dads. And there's some really horrible mothers. I have heard way too many stories recently about mothers doing goofy shit to their kids. Not to say the fathers don't do it. I'm not saying it doesn't happen, so please miss me with the bullshit on that. What I'm saying is, recently, I've been hearing way more about women unaliving their children, drowning their children, shooting their children. I saw a clip the other day. A woman had shot her child in the head in the backseat of her car, blew out the back window, and then got pulled over by the police, who ended up finding the child's body in the damn trunk. And it was her child. And she knew the child was back there and tried to act like nothing was going on. What I'm saying is people are sick. And so whatever it is in the fucking water that got mothers unaliving their kids in real time, that we need to address that. Because there's some options out there. There's adoption, there's foster shit, there's all types of stuff that you can do other than unaliving your child if you think you can't take care of your child. Normally you have family as a support system, but if your family's broke, I get it. But you do have community resources because nobody wants to see that for the child. So if you keep that to yourself and you start doing goofy shit to your child because you're angry at your own life, then you are a piece of shit. And you should go to jail just for being a piece of shit. Child neglect is a crime too. So nonetheless, I'm sorry. That's just it. The fact that somebody did that just really irked me. I'm sorry. Special shouts to IMZ, active in the chat over there. That's right, a different level of crazy. That is a different level of crazy. That's unexplainable crazy. Like when you try to justify it. Now, she said that the reason why she was doing that is because she couldn't take care of the kid. Like, please come up with another option. Anyway. Since we're going into people doing dumb shit, because that's where we are apparently in the show, y'all got to see this next thing. Somebody sent me this piece right here, and we're going to purge some bullshit on this. Because the sports legend and black people, I want to say, I'm not going to call him like the spokesperson for black people, but the spokesperson for Cablinasian people. Now, black people adopted this gentleman. His name is Tiger Woods, okay? Black side, we adopted him because he was as black as you was going to get on a golf course. So Hey, he was black. If you look black when the police pull you over, you black. Okay? Hate to say it to anybody that might just be a really tanned white person with curly hair. But if you look black when the police pull you over, to the rest of the world, you're black. Okay? So this gentleman, Tiger Woods, whom some of you may know, recently got in trouble because he was driving, I think, a Rolls Royce truck, nice joint, by himself, crashed it. Didn't hit nobody else. No cat ran into the damn street. Nothing like that. He just rolls over his own truck speeding on a DUI. So we're going to talk about this because I now need to, we need to purge the BS on Tiger Woods right now. Okay? Right now. Anyway, you guys see the clip over here? Oh, I'm sorry, that's an ad on the top here. So Tiger Woods recently posted bail and he was released following a DUI arrest. He was not injured in the wreck. His car was injured, but he was described by law enforcement as lethargic, and that's because they locked him up for DUI. Now, we've covered some things here on the show about how sometimes a DUI is not a DUI. But let's just be real. Tiger Woods is known for drinking. Number two, he kind of looks drunk in the little picture up here in the corner. You know, looks like he had a couple of, got a little sloshed. And it's golf season right now. So the golfers, we see them on the TV and the PGA Tour and all that. At the end of the golf game, they go get drunk. They all do. This is like a thing. And I didn't know that was a thing that they do, but apparently that's the thing they do. They go take shots and it's a whole party. So Tiger Woods was probably leaving the party by himself, which is interesting to me. Like, you ain't got no driver, Tiger? We don't drive a Tiger. Anyway, so let's go over the story here. So golfing legend Tiger Woods faces charges after he was arrested on a suspicion of DUI following a rollover crash on Jupiter Island. So let's see if they got any footage in here. Might be an advertisement first. Let's see what we got.
If you haven't filed your taxes yet, just a
what the? How was there volume when the volume thing was checked? Anyway, let's go. Now there's no volume. All right, here we go. So we got Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods! Well, he doesn't crash the truck here. That's a bullshit clip. Don't show me that. I don't want to see that. Oh, here we go. That's more like it. Let's see what's up with this one.
Net credit is here.
So nonetheless, they responded to the scene and they found a pickup truck pulling a pressure cleaner trailer and a Range Rover on its side.
Involved in a rollover crash just after 2 this afternoon on Jupiter Island.
Video taken by our crew first on the scene shows the SUV on its side along Beach Road. We're still working to learn Woods' condition and exactly what happened in the moments leading up to the crash. We also do not know if anyone else was perhaps involved. We are hearing from the Martin County Sheriff right now, John Budenseek. Let's listen in.
We'll tell you everything that I know at this time. So just before 2 p.m. today, the Jupiter Island Police Department, which is where we currently are, received a call of a rollover crash about 2.5 miles from where we are. The Jupiter Island Police Department responded out there and found a pickup truck pulling a pressure cleaner trailer and a Land Rover, which was rolled over on the driver's door. And we're going to provide you photos of that.
Truck. I was
the
way
investigation off. Started, and initially, right off the top, it did appear that the driver of the Land Rover might be impaired. And at that point, the Chief Ewing of Jupiter Island Police Department called me from the Martin County Sheriff's Office and asked for our assistance.
Pause. First of all, sir, there's a difference between a Land Rover and a Range Rover. So you are already presenting these facts incorrectly. Because what I see in this picture is a Range Rover. I know a Range Rover is not a Land Rover. So right now, I don't like this officer because he's already messing up the facts. And somebody might be like, oh, it's not a Range Rover, it's a Land Rover, it's Range Rover. Look, don't mess up the facts this early in the case, sir. Get your Rovers right. anyway.
Wasn't that the Jupiter Island Police Department isn't fully capable of doing these types of investigations, but quite frankly, the Sheriff's Office has a lot more repetitions in these traffic crashes and these types of investigations.
Gotcha.
Our investigation revealed as follows. Shortly again before 2, the pressure cleaner truck pulling.
Is somebody pissing in the background? What am I hearing? Is there a fountain? I'm pissed with
I don't like
that.
Trailer
I don't like that.
Was northbound on South Beach Road and was pulling kind of to turn into a driveway. It was starting to turn into a driveway.
Right.
And the driver of that vehicle looked in his mirror and saw a Land Rover, a dark-colored Land Rover, overtaking him at high speeds. I don't know those speeds. The Land Rover kept overtaking him. He saw it coming, so he tried to edge off to the side of the road. But this is a small 2-lane road, and there was no shoulder for this pressure cleaner gentleman to get off the side of the road. As he was trying to move to the side of the road, the Land Rover overtook him at the last minute, swerved to avoid a collision, but clipped the back end of the trailer of the pressure cleaner apparatus, listed to the side, and then rolled on the driver's door north past the truck that had just avoided the crash with.
Okay. So far we have the statement of facts is Tiger Woods was balling down the street. There was a vehicle getting ready to make a left, had a pressure cleaner or something on the back. He looks in his rear view, he sees this big black truck coming up on his rear, fast. And he doesn't know what to do, so he attempts to go to the right instead of making the left turn that he should have made anyway, but whatever, we're not gonna fault him for that. He went to the right to, I guess, try to get out the way, and Tiger Woods still hit his ass. So yes, he was definitely drunk. Apparently the truck then rolled over on the side. I'm sure that when they get there, they realize there's no injuries and the driver's impaired. So let's see if they get to that, and then we'll stop this.
The individual driving that Land Rover was able to crawl out the passenger door of the car and was identified to be Mr. Tiger Woods. Our DUI investigators came to the scene here, and Mr. Woods did exemplify signs of impairment. They did several tests on him. Of course, he did explain the injuries and the surgeries that he had. We did take that into account. But they did do some in-depth roadside tests, and when it was determined, he was placed under arrest and taken to the Martin County Jail. At the Martin County Jail, and even on scene, we really weren't suspicious of alcohol being involved in this case, and that proved to be true at the jail. So Mr. Woods did a breathalyzer test, blew 000s, but when it came time for us to ask for a urinalysis test, he refused, and so he's been charged with DUI with proper.
Okay, hold on. We heard that. So he did do a breathalyzer at the police station and blew a 000. So his breathalyzer was at 0, but he didn't want to take a urine test. So you guys know what that's about, right? Let's see if anybody knows what that's about. Any hands over there that know what that's about? That means that he wasn't under the influence of alcohol. He was under the influence of something else that would show up in urine but won't show up in a breathalyzer test. Perhaps cocaine. I don't know. I don't know what they do at these events. What I'm saying is they get down. And balling in high speed on a 2-lane road towards a pressure cleaner with a truck in front of it sounds like something you would do on cocaine, because cocaine is a powerful drug. And I believe that Tiger Woods was not under the influence of alcohol. He was under the influence of something else. But that still gives you a DUI, driving under intoxication. So they assume that he's intoxicated with something because he wouldn't allow them to piss test him. So we can ask some questions. All right, well, Tiger, what did you have in your system that you didn't want them to piss test you? Let's see what else they
damage
say.
And refusal to submit to a lawful test. In the crash, no one was injured. Mr. Woods did not seem to be injured at all, and the other gentlemen were not injured. But this happened a few hours ago, so I've given you the information that I have right here, right now. So with that, let me kick it to you for questions. I'll answer what I can answer.
All right. We're not going to take the time for the questions. We're going to ask our own questions. So what do you guys think Tiger Woods was on when he did this crashing situation? Because I think it was probably cocaine. Because he got right out the car. He didn't even hurt himself. He wasn't injured. He got out the passenger side. I don't know if he went and rendered aid to the other vehicle that he may have hit on the way, but he was pumped up. Police got there, he was still pumped up. They knew he was wild. He was wilding off for something. That's why they did the breathalyzer. That's why they said he was acting lethargic. So he was out of it. But certain things you cannot test with a breathalyzer. And so Tiger Woods probably had something else in the system. I don't know why they're making a big deal out of it. Tiger Woods ain't been hot in a minute. Ever since he had that divorce with that white lady, he ain't been right. He has not been right. He's been drinking too much. I think he's doing some hard drugs. That's just a thought. Because if you see his mugshot picture, he definitely don't look like this guy in this photo here from the PGA Tour. This guy looks clean. The guy in that picture, balding right here, his whole situation is back to here. He definitely has had something in his system, and I don't really know how we're gonna play it. Because black people, this is our representative in the golf world right now, is Mr. Tiger Woods. We took ownership of Tiger Woods a long time ago. So whatever goofy shit he does, it'll play into the black people stereotype. So, Mr. Woods, we're going to need you to get it together. We need you to get your game together. Like I said, Tiger Woods ain't been the same since he had that divorce with that white lady. That situation with his ex-wife and whatever, he was wilding out for a minute. He was getting pulled over all the time. He was drinking too much. He gained a bunch of weight. Like, he was going through it over that lady. And he hasn't been right since. So maybe Tiger Woods needs therapy. I don't know what he needs, but he definitely needs some help. And I think the people should help him. But if the people ain't really going to help him, you know what I'm saying? If they're just going to talk shit about him and, see, that's why you can't give black people money. If they're going to do that whole thing, then I don't want to hear that. Because obviously, he needs something different than that. He does not need additional bullshit. Let's keep it moving. Let's keep it moving over here. Hold on a second here. All right. Oh, so, well, we're in Florida right now, since the Tiger Woods story took us to Jupiter Island, Florida. And for anybody who hasn't been on this show before, any clip that involves Floridian goofiness is called a WTF clip. WTF on this channel stands for, well, that's Florida. So, Tiger Woods on cocaine, maybe, possibly on cocaine or some other substance, balling down the street and flipping over his Range Rover is some Florida shit. He was probably having a ball in that. He was probably balling. I mean, if you ever seen a Range Rover really moving, them things can move. And he was probably balling. And he feels like, you know, I'm Tiger Woods. And he is Tiger Woods. His black ass got locked up. I'll tell you that. So, and what happened to, what's the guy's name? McMahon? Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon was balling at 100 and something, $125, $140, something crazy on the highway in, I want to say it was an Aston Martin or something, right? Something nice, some nice shit, right? And he clips the back of, this is with the police behind him, with sirens on. Clips the back of somebody's shit. His stuff flies across the highway, hits somebody else's car. He gets out the car, probably coked up or whatever, and they let him walk. This is after a police chase. And he's like, hey, I didn't see you back there. He was balling. Tiger Woods just flipped his own truck over, and he has to go to jail on DUI. So why does Vince McMahon not get a DUI? I'll let you answer those questions yourself. We'll move on. So we're going to go into this. This is actually an interesting one because I didn't know what the headline was telling me. They sent me a headline that said that race politics got intercepted in Florida. And I'm like, what the hell does that even mean? What do you mean race politics got intercepted in Florida? Well, I'm gonna give y'all a quick background on something here. There is a rule in the NFL, right? Anybody who's a real football fan will know about what's known as the Rooney Rule. So the Rooney Rule says that when there is a coaching position open, quarterback position open, most notably those two, coaching and quarterbacking, that you have to interview at least one black candidate. Now, it doesn't say you have to hire them, but it does say you have to at least interview one black candidate for all of those little jobs. So apparently, the Florida governor, I think he's the governor, the Florida guy, had a lot to say about this Rooney Rule. And I'm just going to say this. In the last year or so, I have seen people
I'm Attorney General.
Okay, he's the Attorney General. I have seen people utilize what I call the most ignorant forms of reverse racism I've ever seen. It's like, if you say somebody has to at least interview someone who's black, now it's racist against white people. Well, what if there's 30 white people interviewing and one black person? How is that one black person racist against white people? They probably won't get the job anyway. So just the fact that they interview him doesn't mean shit. Anyway, let's see what this guy has to say here. Let's see what we got. Come on over here, you Attorney General, you. Load it up. Y'all see him. Let's hear what he got to say.
I'm Attorney General James Uthmeier. Next week, the NFL's annual league meeting begins in Phoenix, Arizona. And the NFL draft is only a month away. And ahead of the annual meeting, my office is sending a letter to the NFL Commissioner, Roger Goodell, regarding the league's hiring practices.
Why do you
Specifically, the use of the so-called Rooney Rule, which requires NFL teams to interview candidates based on race. The NFL's use of the Rooney Rule violates Florida law by requiring race-based considerations in hiring. Florida law is clear. Hiring decisions cannot be based on race, and the Rooney Rule mandates race-based interviews and incentivizes race-based decisions. That's discrimination. We're demanding the NFL suspend the Rooney Rule, and failure to do so may result in enforcement actions against the league for race-based discrimination. NFL teams and their fans don't care about the race of the coaching staff. They want a merit-based system that gives their team the best chance to win.
Here you go with that shit. Okay, well, if that's what we're doing, then why are all of the players black? Why are all the players, or most of the players, black on a football field? Answer me that. You know why? Because they're the most talented people in the position. And they were not hired to play football because they're black. There's no DEI hires in fucking football. At best, what they did, Mr. Attorney General, was allow qualified applicants who are of minority races to start interviewing for the positions that they classically do not get. There was a time, if you may not remember, Mr. Attorney General guy, there was a time when you would not see many black quarterbacks in the NFL. It was thought that black people couldn't play quarterback. They're not smart enough to read the field and blah, blah, blah. That was some dumb shit y'all said. But black quarterbacks were hard to find. Then one day you get Warren Moon. Then one day you get Doug Williams winning the Super Bowl. Then one day you get Randall Cunningham. You know what I'm saying? Then somebody's like, well, maybe we should think about these guys a little bit because the ones that we have are really good. So then what did they do? They started allowing people to have black quarterbacks. But initially, they didn't have black quarterbacks like that because they weren't interviewing them for the position. They would draft them as quarterbacks, but put them as receivers or whatever other positions that you feel the black people could play. But they found out wrong. Some of the best quarterbacks in football are some of the black quarterbacks. But you never would have found that out if you didn't do the right thing. So that was one thing. But now you want to talk about the Rooney Rule, which is talking about coaches. Let's just be real here. You go across the swath of the NFL. You got the players, mostly black players, right? You got the NFL Players Association, which is like the union for the players, right? That's mostly black people because most of the players are black. But once you go up a level, it turns all white. The owners, the managers, like the business people are normally not black people. And so they're asking, by having the Rooney Rule, that you just open up the doors a little bit to see if you have a qualified candidate who doesn't happen to be some quintessential white guy. That's all the Rooney Rule is. Let me ask you a quick question, Mr. Attorney General. Are y'all not getting the fucking opportunities that you're supposed to have with all of them people here? You got 75% of the damn nation. Are you not getting the opportunities? It seems like you have been. So having one candidate, they're not hiring the candidate because they're black. They're hiring them because they're qualified. I'm gonna be honest with you, I've seen a couple of black coaches in the NFL over the years. You know, we got Tony Dungy, and you got Mike Tomlin, and you got what's the cat's name in Tampa Bay? That guy. You know, they're there, but they're just coaches. They're just coaching a damn football team. But up until a couple years ago, y'all didn't think they were even smart enough to throw the fucking football. So pardon the rest of the world if they want to just see if they have any other options that might be a little different from what y'all had as the traditional white boy situation, which was the NFL and MLB and NBA. Y'all took all sports and we took them joints back once you allowed us to compete, once you allowed us to interview. So is it that bad to say, can we get one black guy as a coach to interview? As a coach, offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, not just the head coach. That's what he's missing. It's not just the head coach jobs. It's not just that. There's a whole staff of coaches. You always see the head coach. That's what you see when the camera's on. But there's a whole staff of them. And that's what they're talking about. So you know what, Mr. Attorney General, Mr. Florida Attorney General, go do some other shit with your Attorney General time. I don't want you to write shit to the NFL. Let the NFL be the NFL. How about you go deal with the problems that people in Florida have? Because that's what you're supposed to be doing. Not worrying about the damn NFL and when their draft is and all that kind of, man, shut up. Shut up. I'm over that kind of stuff. It's racist to interview a black person. No, it's not. It's racist to not interview them. Is what the whole point of the damn Rooney Rule is. And you missed that. So how about you don't talk about it? How about you go do some shit that you were actually elected to do, Mr. Attorney General, Florida guy? I guarantee the people of Florida, you saying that they don't want coaches hired based on race and all that. How about the people of Florida don't give a fuck? How about that? They don't care what you're talking about while they're dealing with their own issues in Florida that you should be addressing, that have way more to do than with the damn NFL. But you know what? I'm going to let that go at this point because I have purged this man enough and I'm through with this guy. Fuck him. Ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I know I'm going to get in trouble for that. But I'm so used to it now, I don't even think it affects me anymore. Every episode they got an issue with. Every last one. Every episode I say something, they don't like what I said. They don't like how I said it. They don't like that I said this about this person. Well, you know what? Y'all can get over it and you can kiss the inside part of my ass. Right where on the inside part, on the crack. On the left side too, because there's more fur on that side. You can have that. Because I'm sick of that. And I'm sick of hearing people with a platform like the Attorney General of Florida coming on here and talking dumb shit. That's stupid. We're going to file a petition against the NFL for what? To waste the people's time of Florida and waste the NFL's time? Shut up. You mad because they interview a black person for a coaching job. And 90% of the time, he don't get the damn job. And they don't do all of that goofy hiring just because you black in the NFL. You got to have a resume. You can't just come off the street and just be black and now you're qualified. Maybe if you watched the NFL and knew some of the black coaches, I'm sure you wouldn't hang out with any of them. But if you actually knew some of these guys, you would realize they have history. They've been offensive coordinators, defensive coordinators. They've been college coaches. They've been all over. And you sitting there telling them, it's unfair to interview a black person. Shut up. Like y'all don't already have enough bullshit that y'all got. You got to say that. I'm gonna file a petition. Anyway. Moving on. So our next purge, whoa. This one is interesting. So, you guys know who Kristi Noem is? Kristi Noem is the former head of Department of Homeland Security. Trump just fired her like 2 weeks ago. And that's a rough enough thing for her life to be going through. I can imagine. She just lost her job. She's going through a lot. And now, all of a sudden, it has come out that her husband has been exposed as a cross-dressing, sort of a drag queen, but not quite. So we're going to go over the story. Because this is somebody sent it to me not too long ago. I just got this one. This one's fresh. Let's see what we're talking about here. All right. All right. Can y'all see this image? Let me move it down a little bit here. Uh-oh. I think I just lost my stream. Is the stream back up? It looks like the stream is back up. Okay. The stream is back up, I think. Shit. Doesn't matter. We're going back over to the thing here. All right. Hopefully the stream is back up. That was weird. But see, this is what happens. Every time I be talking about these folks, cross-dressers and PDF files and all that kind of stuff, they don't like that. But apparently her husband, as seen in this picture here, this guy over here on the right, he likes to dress up as a woman with uneven nipples, according to this image that I'm seeing. And let's see what the story says. So the secret double life of Kristi Noem's cross-dressing husband Byron, the pouting busty bimbo photos, and trove of explicit messages. Oh, I can't see the whole thing? Oh, they want me to just look at that bullshit. Okay, let's find a real story then. Let's find a real story here. Hold on. Let's see what we got here. All right, let's go with this one.
Kristi Noem's husband accused of being a cross-dresser? Question mark.
Okay.
Sir, I'm going to let you make up your own mind. I'm going to let you make up your own mind, if you care. Brian Noem, husband of former Secretary of Homeland Security Kristi Noem, was accused on Tuesday of living a double life as a cross-dresser obsessed with donning huge fake boobs and talking to fetish models online. In a jaw-dropping report published on Tuesday, Daily Mail chief investigative reporter Josh Boswell and senior reporter Ben Ashford published several photos of a man identified by the newspaper as Noem, posing for the camera in large fake breasts and hot pants. Well,
sorry. All right, so as a wife, you already know this about your husband. She just didn't want that to be exposed. She knows he likes to put on her clothes and put on big fake boobs, just like her. He wants to look like her, big fake boobs and tight clothing. So he was just doing it to impress you, Kristi. That's all it was. He wants to be like Kristi. But why he gotta have the nipples all wrong on... You can't even do it right. And you got the pouting lips and everything in the image. This is bad. I get it. All right, let's let TYT talk a little bit more. Hold on.
pouting. Is that what that was? And he is pouting, isn't he?
Yes, He is
and some
pouting.
things are out of alignment. Okay.
Okay.
Again, whatever makes you happy. I don't care. It's just with certain segments, there's this hypocrisy that it just makes it fun to point things out.
Yeah.
The two reporters also spoke to several fetish models who claim to have had an online relationship with Noam involving bimbofication, a kink centered around women becoming real-life Barbie dolls with gigantic proportions. Kristi Noam's husband is today revealed as a secret cross-dresser who dons gigantic fake breasts, pink hot pants, to chat with online fetish models, reported Boswell and Ashford, who claimed Noam lavished praise on their surgically enhanced bodies, confessed his lust for huge, ridiculous boobs, and he made indiscreet remarks about his 34-year marriage to former Homeland Security Secretary Kristi. Noam, who reportedly made thousands of dollars in payments to sex workers, allegedly asked one fetish model to turn him, quote, into a girl before asking her whether he should put on leggings.
Okay. So he made a bunch of payments to some sex workers and asked a fetish model to turn him into a girl and asking her whether he should put on leggings. You can't hide this from your wife. You can't hide this. So she knew he had a kink. She knew he was weird and into some weird stuff, and that's why he put them big fake boobs in her, because that's what he started with her. Tried to make her look like a Barbie doll. It didn't quite work out. And then after that, he decided to try to make himself look like a Barbie doll. The guy's just weird. And this is what seems to happen here in America. People get money and prestige and just start to get fucking weird. So, all right, and similar to what she said, whatever floats your boat, you're not hurting nobody if you want to dress up like a woman, but putting it online and paying thousands of dollars to a fetish dominatrix to turn you into a girl, that's some weird shit. So they can say that maybe she didn't know, but come on. Like, come on. You know what I'm saying? Come on now. She knew. That's why she ain't tripping. She's just mad he's getting exposed for it, but she already knew. She's like, God damn it, those are my hot pants.
According to the report, Noam made little effort to conceal his relationship with Trump's Secretary of Homeland Security, giving women his phone number with a voicemail message which identified his business. Daily Mail spoke to several national security experts who expressed concern that Noam's secret life could have exposed his wife.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I know what they mean by this. But after everything we've learned about Kristi Noam, the bedroom on the plane, who may have helped her occupy it, is there such a thing? I mean, can she really be embarrassed? She wrote a book where she shot a dog proudly. I mean, I'll continue on with it, but it made me laugh out loud when I read that.
I'm laughing.
Could have exposed his wife and in turn the White House. Again, I can't stop giggling. To blackmail. Somebody left out the word more. To more blackmail. Former CIA officer Mark Polymeropoulos told the newspaper, if a media organization can find this out, you can assume with a high degree of confidence that a hostile intelligence service knows this as well. Noam's wife, Kristi Noam, was removed from her position as Secretary of Homeland Security this month, given a new role as Special Envoy for the Shield of the Americas.
What?
Noam's representative.
That sounds like a bullshit title. Special Envoy for the Shield of the Americas. Talk about just coming up with a job title and putting somebody in it. But I'm gonna stop playing what TYT had to say about it. But I'll bring it back to the lady because she's easier to look at, even though it looks like her eyes are hurting. But whatever. Let's just say what we got to say here. It's very simple. Trump and them already knew about this shit. You think they didn't dig into everybody's social medias and all types of stuff before they really got into it with the families? He already let people know, and that's probably why he had to let Kristi Noam go, because she couldn't hack it anyway. And now there's this. Your husband got boobs on. It's not a good look for the administration. So we're gonna have to let you go and make you we're gonna basically exile you and give you some job title that doesn't fucking exist. Probably because there was some contract signed initially where she has to be working for an extended period of time or whatever. There's something there, and there was a reason why they didn't just fire her outright. They just put her into something different that we don't know what the hell it is. Special Envoy for the Shield of the Americas. If you could tell me what the hell that job description is, I would like to see it. So that sounds like some bullshit. Y'all see that, right? Okay. So with that bullshit being presented, we can assume that at some point somebody was made aware of what her husband was up to. Probably one of the current administration's dominatrix friends, because you know they all be calling the same services. Probably let them know, hey, Kristi Noem's husband been calling up here asking us for some really weird shit, and we're not really comfortable with it. So they let her go. But I will say this. You got to be very mindful of who you marry. And she was married to the guy for like 35 years. So if you're going to tell me you're married to a person for 35 years and you don't know that they into some weird shit by then you weren't paying attention to the person you were sleeping next to. So she knew about it. I'm telling you. Kristi Noem knew about it and to some degree tried to help him out with it, but it was probably too extreme for her. So she said, you know what, just hire somebody else to do this job because you are asking for too much. And I just can't watch the man I married in leggings posing in front of the damn camera pouting his lips out. That's problematic for most marriages. And I can assume it would be the same for Kristi Noem. So, but I will say this, like the lady in the video said, to each his own. If that's what you like to do, you can do it. But I do reserve the right to call you weird as shit. You see what I'm saying? I have a right to say that. You have a right to do that. As long as we're all keeping in our rights and you don't mess with the damn kids, then we're good. So if you want to dress around and call yourself big boob bimbofication, you know what? You could be doing 20,000 worse things with your time in your life. So the fact that they're making this a story in this America where they're trying to get us to let dudes in the bathrooms and guys on the women's basketball teams and all this kind of shit, I don't even see why it's a big deal then. Like, aren't we supposed to be this progressive ass nation where you can do whatever you want to do and supposed to be able to feel good about yourself and you can identify as whatever you want to be. You want to be a Barbie doll and you're a full-grown man. Hey, you can be that. You want to be a woman and you're a full-grown man. Hey, you can be that. This is America. So this isn't a big story. They just wanted to try to embarrass Kristi Noem. Well, I got news for you folks. Kristi Noem already knew about that shit. As a matter of fact, she probably played some part in it, at least early on, and realized she couldn't hack what he was asking her to do. So she had him pay some other people to do it. There's no way that 35 years of marriage and she doesn't know he had some weird ass kink like that. So I will say that that's some bullshit. That's a lot. That's a lot. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not going to get into it too much, but there's some weird people out here. Weird. And some people are weird because they just don't know what else to do. They don't know what else to do with their time, what else to do with their money, what else to do with their energy. They just start coming up with weird shit, and there's like a little devil on one shoulder, an angel on the other shoulder, and the devil on the shoulder is talking. And the angel's just chilling like, yeah, you gonna see. Because I'll be honest, as a gentleman, I don't see why a guy wants to put on women's clothes. First of all, most women's clothes are not comfortable. They're tight, shapely, like they have a shape to them. And women have a certain shape. So if you put on their clothes, you don't have that same shape. It's not going to be comfortable. So nonetheless, he put on a woman's suit. And since we're talking about a woman's suit, we're going to talk about this next topic because this is hitting the airwaves as a super highly viral sort of situation here. You guys know I have covered one of my favorite comedians on this show before, Druski. I didn't like Druski all the time. Initially, I just didn't get what he was trying to do. But over time, watching him do different skits of different types of situations, I've become a fan. I've become a fan. And so recently, he did a skit called How Conservative Women Act. And he put on a suit that looks like a fat version of one of the people from White Chicks, one of the Wayans brothers from White Chicks. And some people have been offended by this. So according to the news, Erika Kirk is attempting to send a cease and desist or possibly sue Druski for this hilarious video. So I'm gonna let y'all see the video. That way you can tell me if you're offended by it, if you're considered a conservative woman, and we will see what you say. Okay? What do thy say? Let's bring it over here.
On your feet!
War is raging in Iran.
We're praying for all the soldiers and troops.
That's great that you're praying, but
how about all the kids that died when the USA hit the towers?
It broke my heart. That is the
Yo.
In what ways have you grown closer to Jesus?
I serve a righteous God. And that is why we say our prayers. We are all his children. But when I say children, I mean like the holy, blessed Trinity, which is why I hold the Bible.
Yo.
Sweet cream foam chai ice matcha. And Bella will have all organic pop cup.
Yo.
Organic? Yes, everything organic.
Shouts to Apocalyptic J in the chat. All right, so y'all get the point. Y'all get the point, okay? So Druski did this skit, and I've watched the skit. You guys just watched most of it. I cut off 20, 30 seconds of it, but nonetheless, nowhere in the skit did he mention Erika Kirk. And if you don't know who Erika Kirk is, then obviously you haven't been following the news since Charlie Kirk got shot in the neck. Erika Kirk is his wife. Erika Kirk has been in the news headlines for her very performative grieving wife act. And a lot of people have said that it's kind of phony looking. I can't say whether it is or it isn't. People grieve differently. But there is definitely questions to be asked about some of her responses and the way that she's physically, like she be crying, but ain't no tears. You know what I'm saying? So he does this skit. The internet goes crazy. But I'm going to tell you why the internet went crazy, because the internet is getting mad at Druski because Druski has been putting on whiteface lately. If you haven't noticed, he did the trailer park trash white dude at the NASCAR race. He's now doing Erika Kirk, or the conservative white lady, because he never actually said Erika Kirk. And people are going into the whole, well, if I put on a black face and did a skit, the whole internet would be upset. Well, you're probably right, because most of the internet is soft as shit. That's why you're upset. See, but I done told y'all before on this show, I have one phrase, and one phrase only for this, is leave funny alone. If the shit is funny, leave it alone. Please. You could probably laugh more. And honestly, without him saying the name Erika Kirk and everybody assuming it was Erika Kirk means that what he's doing is pretty damn close to what Erika Kirk is doing. That's not his fault. That's Erika Kirk's fault. So you need to talk to her, not talk to Druski. And for real, if you get up here in blackface and you do something that's actually funny, I will protect you. I will tell the people, leave funny alone. I saw a comedian the other day. He's from like Australia or some shit like that. He wasn't from America, right? And he said that he came to America and he was in a room with some black friends. And he was wondering, or he said for hours, he thought that they thought his name was Monica. Because they were calling each other my nigga. They said to him, hey, what's up, my nigga? But he thought it was Monica. This is a white guy telling this joke. The theater was filled with probably 50-50, you know, half black, half white. The black people thought it was fucking hilarious. And the white people were triggered. What is wrong with y'all? The wrong group they supposed to be triggered. Why are you triggered? You see what I'm saying? So, with this Druski situation, I have said it before and I will say it again, leave funny alone. Because if it's funny, let it be funny. If it's not funny, say it's not funny. If you don't like it, that's fine. But this man has done probably way more in comedy than you even are aware of because he's constantly doing content. He's got a show right now that is pure debauchery to the point where I can't even believe that the characters keep a straight face when some of the shit is going on that he be talking about. But he's got a whole situation going. So if you want to come for Druski, come for the person who he imitated, because nobody seemed to say anything about her except maybe like Candace Owens or something. But nobody seemed to have no problem with that. Y'all was cool. When we were sitting back like, when we saw it, and you know what I'm saying when I say when we saw it, we were like, something ain't right. Something ain't right. And so he decided to make a satire of it. And you know what? Congratulations to Druski for having the balls to not give a fuck what y'all think because you're soft. The ones that can't seem to find funny to be funny or understand that it's supposed to be funny and not trashy per se. But those of you that can actually appreciate humor, this applause is for you. Yeah. Yep. Because you're worth it. Because you're worth it. All right? So let's leave Druski alone. This is the third time I done had to cover this damn Druski thing. Leave Druski alone. He ain't hurt nobody. To be honest with you, he ain't out here trying to murder nobody. I've never seen him beefing with nobody. He's not talking about killing niggas and all this other shit that some of these goofies talk about. So you know what? He can stay in his lane. He's doing T-Mobile commercials and shit. So let him have his lane. And if he continues to be funny, I will continue to support him. It's as simple as that. Okay? Other than that, that's that bullshit. Shouts to Apocalyptic J. Thank you for identifying. Oh shit, I'm not even on the screen. Hold on. I got to be on the screen here. Here we go. Here I come. But shouts to Apocalyptic J for just being honest. The shit, if it's funny, let it be funny. If you're a firm believer like me that we really weren't supposed to be considered all these different races, like we came up with that shit. There was not a book in place that said, all right, this is the white people, this is the black people, these are the Asian people. We came up with that shit over time with half-ass science like eugenics and all this other shit that they put into play. They came up with the Prussian education system. There was all types of weird shit when we didn't have technology to quickly exchange information. And we were subject to whatever programming people wanted to put in there. But now, we can be objective. We can say, I know y'all are trying to get us into an uproar over some comedy. Have you seen the comedy from the 80s and early 90s? Obviously you haven't if this Druski thing is sending you over the fucking edge. Because they used to say whatever they wanted to say. They used to talk about whoever, political people. They talked about homosexual people. They talked about tranny people. They talked about everybody. White, black, Chinese, it didn't matter. Nobody was safe. So if you weren't safe then, you're not safe now. That's all I'm going to say. And I just appreciate that Apocalyptic J said, I thought it was funny and I'm white. Well, thank you for that because I thought it was funny and I'm black. So funny has no race. It's just fucking funny. And if we could really understand that, then we wouldn't be getting so triggered over some damn Druski skit. Druski's not running for president. He's trying to make you laugh. That's it. That's it. Like, that's literally what he's trying to do. So if he's not trying to hurt nobody, let that man be. Just let him be. Because if you want to talk about people doing the dumb shit, and in some certain circles with Druski, maybe you've heard of a gentleman by the name of Charleston White. Charleston White is a known, I don't want to call him a known troll. He's just known for saying outlandishly wild shit. And I will say this, 99% of the stuff that he says actually is true. He's pretty accurate, but his delivery is nowhere near where people need it to be. And that causes problems for most. So apparently Druski had invited Charleston White over to his, he's doing a show. His show, which is, it's got like he's trying to change some lesbians to straight. I'm still not sure what the show is about, but it's funny. The clips I've seen are funny. And it's basically, he's got a bunch of studs, like Stud Manor or whatever you want to call it. And he's like trying to pick a woman from the studs, I believe, okay? I'll have to check it out in its entirety in order to tell you exactly what it is, but that's what I picked up from so far. But nonetheless, Charleston White apparently was there. And I didn't know, because I don't give a fuck, that him and Young Thug are beefing. Or at least they began beefing. And so this turned into a whole thing where now Charleston White and Young Thug got in a fight. Charleston White got lumped up. He got lumped up. You know how a dude do, man, ain't nobody touch me, I'm good. They always do that, but you're looking at their face and they got the lumps. And you're like, all right, you good, but that lump says otherwise. So I'll show y'all the clip here. And we'll see if we can even see anything. Because when you get a bunch of niggas in the same place, and I don't just mean black people, I'm talking about niggas. See, if you missed our show last week, when we went over the 4 different types of black people, you might not know which classification I'm talking about because you might not be right. You might not be smart enough and might be ignorant and think that niggas just means black people. No, doesn't mean that. Nigga is a mentality, okay? It doesn't have a color. So if you put a person of any color in a certain environment, they can be niggas, okay? Just so you understand that that's what we mean when I say niggas. I don't necessarily mean black people. If I mean black people, then I'll just say black people, okay? So so these niggas, okay, came over to Druski shit, acting a damn fool. Let's go over it. We got to talk about this. Got to talk about it. Because I'm tired of rich black men beefing with each other. What are y'all arguing about? You're not even in the same realms. Charleston White doesn't make music, and Young Thug doesn't do comedy, or whatever Charleston White is technically doing at this point. So they're not even in each other's lane at all. So what are y'all beefing over? Maybe he said some shit. That's his character. Charleston White is known for saying dumb shit and wild shit. So if he says some wild shit, now granted, he do be talking about people's kids sometimes. He takes that shit a little far. Like, he be like, fuck your kids, fuck your mama. I can see where people get a little upset about that. But let's see what this is about. Let's see what this is about.
Toe gone. Bitch ass nigga. Man, them hoe ass niggas approach me now. Catch the foot.
Jeffrey Williams. Let me explain something to you, motherfucker. You on probation. Right?
And?
You just approached me, threatening me. Your words was, we step on shit. Okay? You didn't say I, you made it plural. You said we. So that's in cohorts. I mean a gang. You on probation. Then you had a fella with you that was possessing a gun. You are not supposed to be around with people that had guns. Eyewitness, along with other witnesses, saw your friend with the short body, with the fat, pudgy stomach that hangs above or over his waistline like a kangaroo pouch. The fat motherfucker was clutching the gun. His exact words as he was clutching the gun, or appearing to be clutching the gun. I assumed it was a gun. I think it was a gun. I believe it was a gun. Right? That makes it aggravated assault. His words was, don't lose your life in her. My words was, do it. Then other people came out and interfered. I proceeded to brandish the mace and pull out the mace and say, you niggas will get mace. So I understand we was on a private airport's property, which is under the Federal Aviation Administration. So first thing Monday morning, because you said Jeffrey Williams on probation, aka King Slime, aka Young Thug, you said we step on shit. Your other brother, your goon with the gang chain, the YSL spider chain, pretending to clutch a gun as he was assuming to be brandishing and holding the gun, said don't lose your life. I am now in fear of my life. Swear to God I am.
All right, he's not in fear of his life, but he can say it in order to make his point. Charleston White will snitch, okay? Charleston White has always told you he will snitch. I saw an old video of Charleston White. He was like 16 years old snitching. He will tell on you for the sake of telling on you, because his whole angle is he doesn't want the goofy shit to continue. So he tries to turn in people for doing dumb stuff. Like he said, he knows the guy's on probation. He's not supposed to be around people who are possessing weapons. He's not supposed to be, saying anything about we step on shit around here. Now, personally, when you say to me that you step on shit, it sounds like you walking in the grass and you stepped on some shit. And I would be like, that sounds like a personal problem. You might want to clean off your shoe. Charleston White takes it as a threat. Apparently in the area he was in at a fucking airport with chartered private planes everywhere where there's a bunch of richness going on, he's got to worry about them stepping on shit and clutching guns. So this is my point. Although Charleston White is a level 10 asshole, okay? He's right. He talked this shit and then you showed up at a place that was for elite folks. That's a private airport. That's private. That means a bunch of money is in play. And you still want some nigga shit. You just got out of court not long ago. And you still on some nigga shit. So you're making his point, is what I'm saying. You're making Charleston White's point when y'all do this dumb shit trying to fight him. And he knows 18 laws that he can get you locked up for. That's why he had mace on him and y'all dumbasses had guns. This guy, he loves setting people up to go the fuck down for doing dumb shit. So he will set you up. But at the end of the day, he's not wrong in what he's stating. He's wrong in his delivery. But he don't give a damn about his delivery. He done said 1,000 times, if y'all can talk like this, then I can talk like this. If y'all can talk like this to the community, I can talk like this to y'all. He said it 1,000 times. So how you let this man egg you on doesn't make any sense to me. Especially not if you just got out of the damn court system. You just got out of that kind of shit. So if Young Thug ends up going down for this, that's his fault. I'm not even going to be, I'm sure there's going to be people mad as shit at Charleston White. Damn it, Charleston, you snitched on Young Thug. What was Young Thug doing for the community anyway? To help out? Nothing. He was on some dumb shit. And that's why he brought some dumb shit with him to a private airport when he knows he's on probation and just got out of court. That's goofy to me. This is your king. This is who you want us to exalt, is people that do goofy shit like that? No, I refuse to. I don't want to hear it no more. You're not going to keep telling me that these guys, because they have money, are the best we have to offer. Y'all gave them money. Then you put them in debt for the rest of their life. Like we don't see that. We see it. It's a game. So no, I'm not subscribing to any of the goofy shit the Young Thug and them was doing. You're on the set trying to do stuff with Druski and there's money and you put too many niggas involved and now it's talking about we step on shit around here. We step on shit around where? A private airport? If you don't get the fuck out my face with that. That's soft. Whoever was clutching, you soft. I don't care about none of that. We used to shoot the 5 all the time when I was younger. All of a sudden, y'all softies came in with the fucking guns, like you can't fight nobody no more. And everybody's got to start shooting at the simplest freaking disagreement. That's because we don't have the same value for human life anymore. And we've covered that on this show before. So I can still say y'all niggas is soft. That's soft. That's soft as shit. Charleston White is like the size of my pinky. He's a little ass dude with a loud ass mouth. I don't need a gun to handle Charleston White. You understand what I'm saying? If I really want to get it in with him, me and Charleston White will get it in like men, not like some fucking goofies. And y'all are goofy. So I hope everybody that was with Young Thug that was doing the dumb shit, I hope all of y'all go to jail. I hope Young Thug goes back to jail. And I hope people learn from that stupid ass example of what not to do when you get a second chance. Because that's dumb. And if you think it's anything but dumb, if you think it's gangster and all that, you stupid. Use the dumb one. And that's why we need people like Thug to not be doing what he's doing, because you dumbasses just eating it up like it's the right thing to do. No, it's not the right thing to do. And granted, I'm not giving Charleston White a pass to say he's a fucking saint. What I'm saying is, it's not his responsibility to keep Young Thug out of jail. It's Young Thug's responsibility to keep his ass out of jail. So if he's in a situation to where he understands the ramifications, he should make the right decisions to keep his own ass out of jail. And fucking with Charleston White is not how you keep your ass out of jail. So he's an idiot. He's a fucking idiot. And anybody that follows that example, you're an idiot. And I'm not even being nice no more with that. I'm sick of y'all with this shit. I'm sick of y'all with this shit. I'm sick of rich people, black, white, whatever the hell it is, but definitely black. Rich people beefing with each other over dumb shit and possibly losing their entire career or their life over some goofy shit. You didn't know Charleston White was going to annoy you after all of the content this man has made? You didn't know? You didn't know he will set you up, and he will call the FAA. This is not a lie. This man will call the FAA, the feds, and everything, and he will have you locked up, and you will get all that back time for the shit you just got off for. Think, young man. You got to think. That's all I'm saying, yo. Everybody's mad at Charles. Well, I tried to messing with Young Thug. Why is Young Thug messing with himself? He know better. He know that's not going to be a good look for what he's dealing with right now. He got like forever probation. I don't even know how many years it was. He got like forever probation or some dumb shit. But anybody that knows the legal system knows that they love to hit you with that back time. Ain't no plea deal on that. Ain't no plea deal on that. You get the back time. So if it was a 5 to 10, you get 9. You understand what I'm saying? No more plea deal. No more let's break it down to 4. Let's give you a lower charge. Nope. You go back to jail for the probation violation and for whatever the hell it was that you were on probation for in the first place. So you know what? Young Thug deserves to be in jail because he's stupid, and that's where stupid people go and sit for the rest of their life, is jail. Okay? Not saying that you don't go to jail as a smart person, but you don't stay there forever if you're smart. If you're an idiot, you stay there forever. You go back down there a bunch of times to the point where they can't let you go because you've been there too much. You're dumb. You've already learned the lesson. You've already seen that the food ain't shit. You've already seen the conditions. So if you keep going back, you're a fucking idiot. And you deserve to sit there. Sorry. I know they don't like when I say stuff like that, but I'm going to say it. We are here to purge the bullshit. And that's bullshit for anybody to think that like going to jail is fun. It's not fun. If you haven't been, I'll let you know. Okay? It's not fun. The food's not good. It's not all, hunky-dory and everybody's cool and you're having cool pickup basketball games. It's not that. It's literally hell in a box. And you got to smell everybody's feet that's on there with you at all times because the soap that they allow you to use don't work. So it smells like fucking ass-balled nigga soup in there constantly. And this is all of them. And the more inmates you have, the worse that scent gets. And it's all of them. They're all the same. So I can tell you right now, I don't care where you are. I don't care what state you're in. I don't care what nice neighborhood you think you live in. You don't want to be in jail. And the worst thing is you don't want to be in jail for doing the dumb shit. Because that makes you sit there and just lament the whole time. Like, oh my God, I can't believe I did that. Now, if you were in there for something noble, like somebody touched your kid and you fucking knocked them out and you ended up in there for an assault charge, that's different. You might be exalted as a hero in there, to be honest. But if you're in there for some dumb shit, like you were on probation and you carrying a weapon to a private airport when you got money, you dumb. That's it. You dumb. Okay, let's keep it moving. Because I got to get out of here. I got to get out of here. So I'm going to close with this, my guys and my gals. There has to come a point in time, and special shouts to Dynasty Chantel for the subscribe as well. I did see that, but I was in mid-statement, so I couldn't stop at that moment. But thank you for the subscribe. Make sure you come back in as well. Check out the shorts, push the content, because YouTube doesn't like us over here. Because we ain't over here necessarily bad-mouthing a bunch of black shit or white shit. We just purge bullshit. So bullshit doesn't have a color. It has a content type. And we don't hold back. And apparently they don't want you to talk about the PDF file group. That group is a protected group, and I wonder why they don't want us talking about that. You get it. Watch who you have in power. So let's have this whole situation come to a close here, because I have said what I have to say for this day. I have purged what I have to purge for this day. And I need you guys to understand that we are literally living in some weird ass Twilight Zone. But as with any Twilight Zone, think of it like a dream that you're kind of awake in, right? Like you're having a dream, but you know you're dreaming, so you can kind of do what you want within the dream, but it's still in a dream state. Still weird shit can happen, but let's say you're in a dream, the world decides to break beneath you, the ground, right? In the dream, because you know you're in a dream, you can fly. So you can easily get away from any situation. The bullshit is not quite like that. You can't easily get away from it. But if you pay attention to the signs, and you pay attention to the possibility that there is constantly bullshit stirring up around you, then you can watch as it moves and get the hell out the way so it doesn't affect you directly. That is the point of this show. So instead of getting upset with Charleston White or Young Thug, how about not giving a fuck about either one? Oh, that's crazy, right? That's crazy, right? Because they're living their life and they got money and all of that, and Young Thug going to jail is his fault because that's his shit. So guess what? I don't care. I just cover the information so y'all don't make the same mistake. See what I'm saying? Same thing with Christy Nome big-titted husband thing. I don't care about him dressing as a woman, but I think you should understand that that doesn't go correctly with this new America we have where men are supposed to be in women's spaces. If he wants to put on big titties and walk around, hey, call him. Don't call him sir. You know what I'm saying? That's the America we live in. So why they made it a big deal, considering that, that's stupid. You're just trying to embarrass Christy Nome or whomever, or the Trump administration. I don't even know who they were trying to embarrass with that. It was just a weird fetish. But if you'd have told me he was messing with the kids, I can't even talk about that. I can't say that he's bad for that. But you want me to say he's bad for putting on the big titties and wanting to be a Barbie doll. Weird, yes. Bad, no. Okay? See how that works? So anyway, let me get up out of here, man. Special shouts to Apocalyptic J for stopping in as well. Who else do we have in our situation over here? Who gets the gong today? Where is my gong? I don't have my gong. Oh, there it is. Never mind. Yeah, there's the gong. Okay. So special shouts to Apocalyptic J. That was your special gong there. Also, I am Z. Love you, Z, for always being there and supporting. Z is always one of the first people in the stream, so I always give Z some shouts. Anybody who's on the sidelines as a spectator, unless you're one of my haters and you're just watching this shit so you have something goofy to say to me later, y'all get the gong as well. And to the people who are the haters that just come and literally just watch the show for the purposes of talking shit about something later, you are definitely that bullshit. And with that, I'm about to get up out of here. Y'all make sure you come back on Thursday, because we will be back on Thursday. And that's really all that I have to say today. Anything else going on? Nothing going on, really? I guess not. All right, guys. Well, I think I've said what I have to say.
That's not a punchline. That's real fact.
Real fact. So once again, y'all, make sure you make it back on Thursday. Don't forget to support the platform. This is a monetized platform, so super chats, all that kind of stuff. We can take all of that as well. But if nothing else, make sure you check out freemanservices.org/shop. Check out our merchandise, what you see in the corners here. Is it this way? Other way. This way. Over here for this one and up here for that one, depending on which feed you're on. Make sure you check out the merchandise and make sure you come back and check out Purge the BS. Because if you do not make it back to the Purge of the BS, then that, my friends, is some bullshit. And we out. Peace.